What up, people? Welcome back to another episode of the Road to Glory career mode here today on FIFA 18. We've got a few things to go through. Firstly, I'm going to change around the sliders to make this even more difficult for us. So, this is what we're currently playing on, of course, legendary difficulty, but that's the sliders we're going to go with. I'm going to bump these even harder. So, shot error I'm going to put down to 30 for the CPU. Pass error is going to go to 20, so their pass is going to be even more accurate. Shot speed we're going to bump up to 65. Pass speed will bump up to 70. In terms of everything else, goalkeeper ability, we'll keep at 70 because, like, you know, we are scoring goals, but even so, I don't want to make it too hard on myself. Marking-wise, we're going to bump it to 75. Run frequency, we're bumping to 75. And I think for the first touch control, we should also put that down to around about 15. So that's what I'm going to do there as well. So, man, it's going to be even more difficult in today's episode. And I just decided to do that because I felt like, you know, we're still unbeaten after 19 league games. I want to make this as hard as I possibly can on myself. You know, I want to give this a biggest challenge possible that you guys will enjoy to watch. So the best way to do that is to make it even more tough for me. But we've got a few things as well. I asked you guys in the last episode, or rather, I didn't like do a poll or anything. I literally just put a little I button at the top right. You may have seen it, you may have not. It was just to decide which out of the two we signed out of Isaiah Brown and Alex Pritchard. So we are going to make one of the signings happen right now because I do know which one won it. With quite a majority of the votes, actually, to be fair. And it was that man, Alex Pritchard. There isn't too much in this. Kind of both players are a similar rating. I think Pritchard has got slightly better weak foot, if I'm not mistaken. I know one of them has anyway. I think it was Pritchard. And we know what kind of overall Pritchard actually is. 78 rated. So he would be an improvement to our side as well. And I feel like it would be a good signing. So we're going to try and make this happen. Excuse me. 3-year deal, important. I'm not really bothered about a release clause. So he wants £54,000 a week, a signing bonus of 770k, and an appearance bonus. I'm going to remove the bonus because he's going to appear anyway. And I'm going to bump up the wage slightly to 58k a week. He's already on 36. Let's see if he takes that. Okay, he wants 60. You know what? I'm more than happy to allow that to happen. So, Alex Pritchard becomes the first signing of this window on that pre-contract. We do have a little bit more money left. I don't think there's going to be that much that we do in this window, though, because of the simple fact that our team's pretty decent. Also, guys, I want to mention there is going to be something that is going to be a massive decision to be made at the end of this season, which you guys will have to make along with me. It's for the sake of the future of the series. We will still be playing with England no matter what and trying to win the World Cup with them. But it's going to be in regards to how many players we sign that are non-English, and should we basically scrap that rule so we can sign any players we want for this Crew Alexandra side? Because I do see a lot of comments saying, can we sign this player, can I sign that player? And I would love to do it, but obviously I gave myself these little like implications that I had to roll with, so that's the only reason why I don't do that. But at the end of this season, be patient with me. There will be a vote coming out which will just basically say, should I scrap the ruling of being able to only sign a certain amount of English players and just be able to sign literally anybody, and then not have to worry about having, you know, 8 of the starting 11 of my England side coming from the Crew Alexandra team. Because the way I see it, even if we win the World Cup and the European Championships with England, it's still glory and we still had to work at it. And I don't feel like we should have to make it completely from our side. And I know a lot of you want me to sign players as well that aren't English, of course. I see the comments all the time. So there is that little bit of it as well that I can kind of go with. So that's going to come at the end of this season when we get into the next transfer window, of course, because then we can make it happen. But for the sake of this one, I pretty much feel as though that's where we're going to leave this. I don't think actually there's too much to worry about in that aspect, actually. Now I think about it, I could maybe sign another non-English player because I think I've got a space open. Let's have a look at some of the world-class players that are currently... Okay, so a few of them don't have contracts expiring, a few of them do. Unfortunately, though, I won't be able to give you guys like a vote as to who we sign because obviously the episode's already done. So bear with me a sec. I'm going to look at this. Okay, guys, so I've gone ahead and I've shortlisted a couple of players that we might be able to sign in this window. And I want you guys to give me a decision because this is where I want you to have as much input as possible. So, as you know, as I spoke about just before, we might be going ahead and scrapping the rule of me having to only sign English players. And so, I've decided to shortlist a couple of players here. Now, I want you guys to make the decision, which means we're only going to play the game against Spurs in today's episode. But anyways, let's have a look at the players I've shortlisted. So first up, we have Jonas Hector. Can play at left back or centre defensive midfield. Arguably can play at centre back as well. He's available on a pre-contract. Will only cost us around about 40 to 50 grand a week on the contract itself. 81 rated as a, good little benchmark. We've then also got Arturo Vidal. This man currently playing his trade at Bayern Munich might be a little bit expensive. £105,000 a week to 160 is what my guys are saying. The other thing to remember as well, he's actually decreasing in overall. He's 82 rated right now, but he's also in the 32, kind of age bracket. So if we do go ahead and try and make the signing of Arturo Vidal, there's every chance that it might come back to bite us because of the fact that, he is knocking on in age right now. So if you want the signing of him, bear that in mind. There is that to think about. So it's between Arturo Vidal, Jonas Hector. Let me find where they are again. We've got Hector, who's obviously going to cost us less. He's the same rated, or pretty much the same rated as Vidal. Vidal is also 33, not 32 as I thought, so he's also going to be decreasing. He's going to be 34 potentially when he joins us. The last option to you all is going to be this man, Marco Grujic of Liverpool. Currently on about £89,000 a week. He is significantly younger than the other two men at 24 years age. But he's also 81 rated, exactly the same of that of the Hector. He can play CDM, centre mid, cam, so he does have the extra little bit that the other guys don't. So that's over to you to make your decision. I'll leave a little button in the top right-hand side of this video. I'm pointing to the left, aren't I? Top right-hand side of the video for you to all to vote on. So it'll be up there with an I button. You can click on that and cast your vote. It's between Vidal, Hector, and Grujic for who we sign as an extra man for next season. I'm thinking more about defensively, not offensively at this point. I feel we need to strengthen that. We'll get into game one and the only game of today's episode. Right now, Spurs in the FA Cup 4th round, and then, of course, I'll leave you all to cast that vote. Also, I do have to go into work. I've just been asked right now, as I'm recording this on Friday, if I can go and work at 5 PM. So that's, unfortunately, the issue with shift work. But we're not bothered about that because, A, it's more money for me, and B, sometimes you got to do it. If you do someone a favour, you scratch their back, they'll scratch yours in the future. That's the way I look at it. So, yeah, let's get into this game against Spurs. And then I'll leave you all with the chance to cast your vote on the three guys that I mentioned just before to see who joins us next season ahead of the next campaign. Monthly scouting update. We've got Joseph Cunningham back. Potential of 74 to 94. Decent overall rating as well. Let's take a look at him when we get him into our actual youth academy. And we can make our judgment there. Let's take a look. Where is he? The office. I mean, it's not a bad little find, that one. Where is he? A right back, 57 rated. Not the greatest physicals in the world, so there is that to think about. Also, if I do scrap this ruling of us only being able to do the English people, I can send my scouts anywhere I want at that point and just bring in, world-class talent. I tried to make it something different with the Road to Glory this year, having to have the English background, but it does kind of limit you in the sense that unless you find tremendous players that aren't already in the game, kind of screw yourself because there's not that many great English players that you can afford when they're pretty cheap that don't get really good like now. For example, if I want to sign other players with a high potential from like way back, they cost me a hefty penny. So, yeah. Jeez. Sheriff Vidal, 65 rated, 6'7", and he's not exactly slow either. I might have to sign him, because that guy looks ridiculously good. Okay. So, for the game against Spurs, we are going to go with our cup side. We have the additional sliders this time around, which is going to make it even harder for us. Let's see what's going to happen. We've got to play the game against Spurs here. I'm hoping we'll get the right result, but it's going to be tough with the new sliders that we've just added there. Hopefully it makes it more entertaining for you all to watch, though, more realistic as well, more difficult for me. I mean, look at those sliders. They look so damn hard. But regardless, I like a challenge. You guys know that. Let's get into game against Spurs and watch them tear me to shreds in the FA Cup with these new slider settings. Boy, this is going to be tough. Let's go. All right, my apologies. Just had to make a quick phone call, but we're ready to go into game against Spurs. This is going to be tough, man. FA Cup tie. I don't actually know what kind of round this is. I think this is a 5th round it might be, but regardless, we have this backup side. We have the new sliders, and this is going to be funny to watch if I just get smashed now. I'm confident, quietly confident, because we played really well. But then, as you know, the last time we played with this cup side was in the, was it the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup against Birmingham, and we got knocked out 3-1. So although my first team seems to be playing really well, the backup side isn't exactly what you call brilliant. And I mean, that side from Spurs, To be fair to them, they haven't taken me for granted at all. They played a very good side there. Aurier, Bartra, Delbert, they've got some very good players in there. Arguably, Milinkovic, Savic could be the only one that could come in and possibly do it. Skip there as well. Obviously not the Skip that we have, Lawson Skip. Nevertheless, it's a good Spurs side. You saw ours just a moment ago, so we're going to get into this one at Wembley here. Come on, boys. I know we're in for a tough afternoon, but after all, we are in good form, and I feel quietly confident we'll get something out of this game. Oh, Harry Kane off the woodwork. Spurs very nearly opening up the score. And I tell you, they're marking so much better now as well. And I've only improved that by like 5. What's going on? I just can't get the passes going. But that's a great effort from Spurs. Harry Kane hitting the woodwork now. Yep, these sliders have certainly made this more tough on us. But Gamero finding Acosta nonetheless. Here we go with our potential first chance. Good return from Acosta. Finds its way to Evans. Evans with a cross towards the middle. Hakeem at the back post. It's our first real opportunity. And we just never really looked like we were going to score from that, did we? As Harry Kane brushes off the challenge of Martin. And here comes Spurs again. Good pass, Son. Eriksen. It's 1-0 Spurs. Oh, it's not. Wait. For a sec. Did that not drop in? Or has it gone behind the goal? Okay, it's gone behind the goal. For a second, I thought it dropped in. I was like, wait, that's in the back of the net. And it's not gone 1-0. Unless, of course, it would have been offside or something. That could have been the reason why. And we'd have been got away with one. But it didn't actually go in. So, fair play. I genuinely thought we were 1-0 down for a second. This is so much more tough. Hakeem. Gamero. Gamero. Oh, I've given it away. This is what I mean. My final ball has got to be better in those situations. Come on. Harry Kane again. Keeps doing that little run to get in behind my back line. But then when he gets it here, he's got to do something with it. Riley, though, defends pretty well. Martin will find Acosta. We come forward again. Acosta. Now Devante Cole. It's very isolated for my 2 strikers up top at the moment, Gamero and Cole. Nevertheless, here is Kevin Gamero. Back to Devante Cole. Chance number 1 for us. Cole's effort. He's put it wide of the post. That was the first chance we've really had in this first half of football. And Devante Cole cannot find the finish. Dragging it wide at that bottom corner. He beat Lloris, but he also beat completely the goal. That's frustrating, man. That was our first chance. And maybe our only chance. But takes us into half-time in a game where there's certainly more of a challenge today. But we could have taken the lead there. Oh, man. I can't believe Cole. I can't believe we didn't do it there. Actually, I want to see. Match facts-wise, it's been fairly even, to be honest. But Spurs have had the better of the chances. They've hit the woodwork, and Eriksen went close. But, I mean, we could have taken the lead there. Aurier. Harry Kane. Beats Greg Lee, looks for the cross. Evans, an unlikely header away. But here comes the Spurs pressure. Shaqiri, Serge Aurier. Good to turn, finding Harry Kane. Kane towards the middle, got to be 1-0. Eriksen, he's off the woodwork, right, he clears. Oh, we've got another lifeline. Oh my goodness me, we have another lifeline. Shaqiri giving away to Martin. Gamero's pass backwards. Here we go, come on boys. We now need to create something. Greg Lee, Hakeem, Gamero. Good footwork. Kevin Gamero finding a pass through towards Acosta, whose touch lets him down. Luciano, you've done everything right today. And that touch there is just really let him down. But nevertheless, Harry Kane has done... Oh, for goodness sake. Harry Kane's let him down, but then so did Acosta again. I'm panicking a little bit now, guys. Honestly, all of a sudden, I'm feeling the Spurs pressure. Eriksen coming forward again. Acosta, great work defensively from him today. Gamero, Devante Cole between them. It's literally these two up front. I have nothing going forward at the moment. We are just playing with 2 strikers up their own. Hakeem taking on Serge Aurier. Not really got the pace to beat him though. And we're struggling to find this pass that we need. Gamero. Now Martin. Gamero again. Back towards Martin. On the edge of the area here. Finding Gamero again. Gamero strike. It's going to be blocked out. And it's going to be a corner ball. We have 6 minutes remaining of normal time here. And this potentially has a draw written all over it. Evans' corner. Delivered in towards the middle. Harry Winks away. We still have the ball though. Evans, is he onside? Please be onside. Yes, he is. Whips another great ball in. And Skip is there this time to stop us from finding anything. Dalbert away now. We need to defend. We're going to get caught on the counter, I think. Martin. Yep, we're caught on the counter. This is dangerous. Shaqiri. Shaqiri for Spurs. Going inside of one. Hakeem, though, will get on the loose ball. And we will deal with the opportunity that Spurs had. Gamero now for us. Can we create one last chance with 2 minutes remaining on the clock? Martin. Out wide to Hakeem. Hakeem. Gamero. Cole is in. Devante Cole for 1-0. Cole! Lloris saves it with his legs. Oh, my goodness me. Acosta. Whipping the cross in. Lloris catches it. We had that last chance with Devante Cole just before the end of the match to find the winner that would have put us through, and we're going to a replay. I cannot believe we didn't score there. 90th minute, look at this. Cole's in. I don't know what I should have done. Should I have gone across the keeper? I tell you what, that's a very good save from Lloris, because look at this. It's with his toes that he saves that ball. Sensational save, Hugo Lloris. Well done, mate. Other than that, it was a pretty entertaining game, not going to lie. It was a bit more competitive than I first expected it to be. They had their chances, and I did struggle for moments in that game where I couldn't quite stop them. But we got a 0-0 draw. We get a replay. Not the ideal situation, but that's the way it goes, guys. And that, unfortunately, I know it's been a short episode today, but I A, didn't know I was going to have to go into work at 5 PM, and B, I wasn't considering maybe changing this rule, and obviously I want to give you guys an input, and I want you to make the signing happen. So we signed Alex Pritchard earlier. Who should we get to join him for next season to really shore up our midfield? As you saw earlier, the choices were Jonas Hector. Let me know in the comments. If it is Hector, let me know how you actually say it, because I don't want to be saying his name wrong the entire way through. So is it Jonas or Jonas? Hector. We have Arturo Vidal of Bayern Munich, of course, as well. And we lastly have Marco Grujic of Liverpool. Those are the three options. Grujic being 24 would be my choice here, but it's over to you to make that decision. Let me know what you think we should do. We are into deadline day, and this is where we will leave it. Make your choice, guys, and I will see you all for the next episode of this series. Hopefully, maybe tomorrow. If not, definitely the day after that, guys. Catch you all then. Adios.